Hello everyone and welcome to the illustration of banknotes and coins collection. So I'm using the bandicam.com website, and today I will show you some banknotes from the laptop. Okay, so the first banknote is the children won the North bill. Next is Oman 5 reals. Next is the 2000 Japanese yen. Next, Hidenoji 1000 yen, bill current yen. Is Tonga 1 panda or dollar. Is the 10,000 Japanese yen. The Australian dollar is the last one. Okay, so friends, so today, thanks for watching my channel. If you like this, please subscribe, share, and also now. Bye, friends, have a great day.